It hasn't been the easiest thing coming out and talking about all this stuff in relation to Kundalini, ladies and gentlemen, because when I first started doing this, I didn't really know how it was going to be received. I didn't know if people were going to think I sounded crazy, but I pushed forward because I knew that the truth needed to be spoken regardless of whether or not people accepted it or not. You see, if you have a message that you believe in, ladies and gentlemen, if you have something that you are very passionate about, that you know is the truth, that you think that can benefit the world, you need to come out and share that message with the world, folks. You need to not let fear get the best of you. So many of us hold back from speaking our minds out of fear of what the public is going to think about us, ladies and gentlemen. This is just another trap. We need to break through these unhealthy thinking processes and start producing results, so to speak. So my goal in life, ladies and gentlemen, is to spread information about the Kundalini energy, to get more people interested in this energy. This is the evolutionary energy, the transformational energy that lies dormant within our genome, within our pelvic floor. And it is a very real thing. And that, that's essentially why I didn't let fear get the best of me, ladies and gentlemen, because when you believe in something with every fiber of your being, when you know something is the truth, you push up against opposition regardless of the resistance. So there is, in my opinion, right now, a agenda to suppress the evolution of this form of consciousness from unraveling. Now, that's not to say that the Kundalini energy just doesn't rise because there's governmental aspects to this and whatnot. They're poisoning the flora, they're poisoning us with fluoride, and the water is toxic, and that's keeping the Kundalini energy from rising. I'm not saying this. A lot of, in my opinion, let me rephrase that. The Kundalini appears to operate on a cause and effect system, ladies and gentlemen. And in my opinion, the Kundalini energy is not christening mankind, humankind, womankind right now, predicated upon the fact that we have not nourished the cause enough that leads to the effect. There's a certain lifestyle that is synonymous with Kundalini, and I'm not really going to get into that in this video, ladies and gentlemen, but we don't really live that lifestyle in this world. We are so caught up with our 9-to-5 jobs and our obligations and all these other things that we don't really even have time for enlightenment. I mean, think about it. Most of us have been put into a system where we've made contracts with the Matrix, where our own enlightenment and us pursuing enlightenment has to be something that we do in our free time. How horrible. And this is why I say things like, okay, there is an agenda here to suppress Kundalini Christ consciousness from evolving here in this world. There is a suppression of this evolutionary consciousness because the system has given us so many obligations and contracts where by the time you get home from work, you have no energy to read. You want to go to bed, and then you hit it's a cycle. So one thing that I've also really tried to inspire people to do is to question their daily algorithm, their loop, and start, try to create your own business, create a clothing line, do something so that you can make some extra income so that you can afford to have some more free time, because time, ladies and gentlemen, is precious. And oh man, it blows my mind that here in 2019, we are still operating on this primitive bandwidth of consciousness, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen. We are like the most advanced supercomputer, operating on MS-DOS still. We need to have our consciousness catch up with the advanced nature of our biology, our physiology. And this is an infinite machine, ladies and gentlemen, this physical body. This is the temple of God, ladies and gentlemen. And inside the temple of God, there are many mysteries and many things for us to discover that we are squandering because we are living a fake AI reality. Now, I don't care if I have haters. I don't care if I have people that come out and say I'm a fearmonger. I don't care if I have people that come out and say I'm crazy for talking about these things. I know the truth. The truth is that we were designed to be a much more evolved entity. And we are existing in this AI-induced almost dream world that is so far from this. So the goal of my message, ladies and gentlemen, is to hopefully inspire people to create more of a spiritual lifestyle where you can be more in touch with yourself. Because if you're not in touch with yourself, ladies and gentlemen, you are not living life. If you're not in touch with what's going on in your own world in relation to your spirituality. And Kundalini is the most advanced form of spirituality because it is evolution of the consciousness in the body. The body and the mind gets evolved through this energetic expression. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kundalini energy is God energy moving through you. It takes the average human and turns them into the Christed individual that he or she was essentially designed to be. So the things that we can do with this energy moving through us, there's no limits. And I know that that may sound crazy. I know that that may contradict your belief system. And I know that may agitate a response in you. But if it has agitated a response in you, and you think I sound crazy for saying what I just said, saying that there are no limits, what does that say about your belief system? I've just exposed you to your programming. Most people want to believe that we are a limitless species, ladies and gentlemen, that we can perform miracles and great things. But when most people are told they can do that, there is an automatic barrage of different, your mind telling different ways that your mind tells you that it's not possible. Oh, that's not possible. No. It's not possible. Science hasn't proven that yet. This and that. It's like, come on, ladies and gentlemen. We've been put into these tiny little cells, ladies and gentlemen. It's just like Morpheus says in the Matrix. You exist in a prison in your mind. Your mind is what keeps you from evolving because you've given your subconscious belief patterns over to things that actually bring you detriment and not benefit. The first step to becoming more spiritually in tune with the Kundalini energy, the first step, in my opinion at least, to getting healthier in any avenue of life is to change your thinking processes. And you do that not by changing how would I say this? You change your belief systems. Let me put it that way. That kind of came out the wrong way. The greatest way to evolve, ladies and gentlemen, is to question your beliefs and whittle out the beliefs that you harbor that are not bringing you benefit. And many people have beliefs that are operating on the unconscious levels of the psyche that are non-beneficial. We have to go in like a spiritual doctor, like a spiritual acupuncturist, and whittle out the things that are bringing us detriment. Because as I've said in previous videos, and I'll say it again, beliefs tell the subconscious mind what to produce in your reality. And if you have unconscious programs in your subconscious mind that are playing in a loop unconsciously that your conscious recognition is not aware of, your reality is a mirror of those beliefs. And because many beliefs were programmed into us at a young age and suppressed, we now as adults don't remember all the beliefs that we've accepted. I hope this makes sense. Some of these concepts may sound a little crazy, and I know that I did not get enough sleep last night, so hopefully it's coming out somewhat coherent, ladies and gentlemen, but we have to question what we've been clinging to. See, a lot of people think that they've reached like the pinnacle of what it means to be a human. They've reached the pinnacle in their life of, I'm doing everything right now. And I'm not saying that people are inherently flawed, but we all have room for improvement. To think that you've made it and you're completely just there in life and that you don't have any room for improvement is a huge flaw. And I see so many people doing this. So many people are way too comfortable with their current situation. And I'm not saying that you should be afraid. I'm not saying that you should, so many people regard what I'm saying as being like fear-mongering because I'm telling people to question what they're doing in life. So many people want to think that, oh, well, how dare you tell people that they're doing things wrong? How dare you? How dare you meddle in other people's business? I'm trying to interject because I want people to achieve a greater state of health. What good is holding on to things that are not benefiting you when you could just easily switch to something else that's much more beneficial? That is what the point of this channel is, ladies and gentlemen, is to hopefully get you to question things so that you can tweak certain things if they need to be tweaked so that you can have a healthy lifestyle that brings you happiness, peace, joy, and abundance, and hopefully so that you can be on this earth longer. You can go through your whole life and not question anything and eat all the bad foods and, maybe you'll live to be 100. Who knows? But what if it causes an issue that you could have changed through contemplation? What if you could have just sat down and analyzed, okay, what am I doing that's unhealthy that I know I could change? Because many people have these things in their life where they know they should change something, but because of convenience or because of not knowing how to change something, because of a lack of understanding of how easy it is to change things, because the system wants you to think that it's difficult to break your patterns. But all I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, get some salt water here. Pink Himalayan salt in some water, some filtered water. But life to me is a constant pursuit of growth in order to achieve the greatest state of what it is to be a human, and that is the Kundalini energy. I experienced this energy in my early 20s, and it showed me a handful of things about human consciousness that I was previously unaware of. It showed me, ladies and gentlemen, that we have been turned into something else. And that it also showed me that we can return to this Christed state of consciousness if we learned to manipulate the causes in our lives that are leading to unsatisfactory effects. You see, life operates on a cause and effect system, and the Kundalini doesn't respond to humanity right now, it appears, in my opinion, based on my research, my meditations. The Kundalini doesn't really express itself freely on a global scale or a worldwide scale, let's put it that way, because we do things that are not synonymous with its expansion. It's kind of like if you were on an AM station, ladies and gentlemen, and you were trying to reach an FM station. It just doesn't work. You have to switch the knob to the FM station. You have to change things so that you can get onto that radio wave. We can look at the whole AM to FM thing metaphorically and put it into a human context and see that right now humanity is on an AM station, and it's on a static station. It's not even tuned in. What we need to do, metaphorically speaking, is tune into an AM station, figure out how to move the dial and adjust things, and then realize that, okay, there's the switch. Let's just go to FM. Super consciousness. Expansion of the consciousness beyond the typical and mundane senses. Inside of our pelvic region, ladies and gentlemen, at the base of our pelvic floor, the throne of God, there is a subtle channel that runs through the cerebral spinal system that leads to the brain. This channel is known as the Sushumna. This is one of 3 primary channels that the Kundalini energy moves up when the pelvic floor is awakened. This channel is dormant in most people. This entire lower region of the human cerebral spinal system is dormant in most people. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen, but the evolution of humanity will take place within our spines, within our cerebral spinal system, within our central nervous system, our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, ladies and gentlemen. People are out there looking for some evolutionary tool or some pill to, enhance longevity. We already have all this stuff to evolve within our genome. It's just lying dormant. But we have forgotten how to activate these very sacred mechanisms within our genome. The Kundalini is a very real thing, ladies and gentlemen. It is not just some fanciful story, some hocus pocus legends and things like that. There are, however, there's a lot of bullshit out there about it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anyone who hasn't experienced this consciousness should be talking about it as if they know what they're talking about. And I'm not claiming to know everything, but I have experienced Kundalini consciousness, ladies and gentlemen. I know what it's like to... I'm going to wrap this one up. I love you, I love you, I love you. Question everything. If you're interested in more content, you can check out the links in the description box below. I'm going to wrap this one up, you guys, because I did not get enough sleep last night, and I don't want to sound like a babbling fool. Until next time, peace be with you.